Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I'm hoping you guys are all having a fantastic day. So today's upload we'll be talking about not really one particular storm system, as there will be several smaller ones that could be occurring. If you recall, I made a video yesterday about the increasing threat for a snowstorm or winter storm this upcoming weekend, and really the chances kind of went back down to where we were a few days ago. So again, this is the weather, it goes back and forth all the time. A lot of the models now are hinting at several smaller storms through the next week time frame, maybe even a bit more into around a week and a half, the medium range forecast. But there's still a good potential. As you can see, there's a storm system could be lining up in a longer range. So we'll be going over that in today's video, so hop along if you want, and we'll be talking about the weather. If you guys like anything about this channel at any time of the video, you see anything you like, then consider subscribing, and you could always support the channel by liking the video, especially if you are a returning viewer. So thank you so much for doing so. Alright, let's start off by looking at the European model. The European model is, again, probably one of the better medium to short range models, though again, now with the GFS being updated to the GFS parallel, there is quite a bit of there is quite a bit of competition between the European and the GFS parallel, as honestly they've been both equally wrong or right this past few months. Notice that right now really dry across much of the eastern United States and central United States and really western United States. We do have a bit of showery activity, snow showers. Actually, I think a winter weather advisory is issued for portions of Pennsylvania and maybe New York, extreme northeastern Ohio, I'm not sure. But definitely some snow showers, some lake enhancement. But that really isn't anything that's going to be record-breaking, though obviously 2 to 5 inches is possible. Notice we have a huge storm move on to the northwest, and unfortunately the west it kind of breaks that apart, the northwest, and it doesn't really make its way into the central United States or the southwest where they really need it. The northwest does need it, so at least they're getting the rain and the snow. Notice that the precipitation amounts or rates will be pretty strong, and this will be long duration occurring through Thursday, Wednesday, and into Friday. By early Friday, late Thursday, it really winds down across the mountains, and seemingly almost nothing is occurring, right? We see, I mean, look at this. At this point, this is Friday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This is as tranquil as I can almost remember any map looking. A few showers across Florida, maybe a bit across Missouri, portions of the northern Great Lakes, and a bit across. I mean, this is literally possibly one of the driest maps you could get during a given time of any given time of the year. Now, that obviously doesn't really hold for a very long time. Notice that we start seeing precipitation develop across Kansas, Missouri, and most of this will be rain, interacting with the Gulf Coast moisture, and that is brought by high pressure that kind of steers the winds and moisture up and over into the United States. So any storm that has the potential to pick up moisture will do so easily, as I mentioned a few days ago. Notice the rain starts breaking out. I was reading the forecast discussion of the National Weather Service, and they're saying that the GFS parallel does a bit of a better job with this system, as it has more models supporting it, while the European ensemble group is kind of all over the place. Some models are showing a completely different scenario than others, and now I wouldn't say that the snow threat is completely gone with this system, right? That would be silly of me to say it from a system that is right now it's Tuesday. This could be occurring Sunday, Saturday, so it's still a bit away, but obviously it gets exponentially harder for this to become a snow system once we get closer and closer to its actual occurrence. So notice that the models have pushed this back a bit. I mean, you can see this is now Sunday in the morning. We do have a bit of snow, maybe some pockets of snow, really no substantial large area shield of snow, really. It's just these kind of pockets, and the European keeps more of a rain threat across the United States, and it does develop some snow into southern Canada. So for my Canadian viewers, really the larger cities could be seeing some snow. Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto really doesn't seem to get much out of this. Quebec seems to be the biggest winner out of this whole system, and notice that that seems to be true as the system pushes towards the St. Lawrence Bay and does bring some rain and snow, though it doesn't organize itself into a large system by any means. It's not a classic storm, it's more of like an elongated cold front that kind of has a low pressure beginning to develop, but by the time it does, it's out of here. Notice this is where that little storm kind of threat comes in, if you will. We have more activity across the northwest and southwestern Canada. That's the only area across the map, the kind of the most of the continent we have viewed right now that will be active. There will be a large, hurricane and tropical storm moisture across Central America that's causing destruction there, but here across the northwest and southwestern Canada, we could be looking at some very heavy snow, very heavy rain. And again, anywhere else, some chances. You can see here's our little first system, and here's the new system that the Europeans started showing. So we'll have to see what it does from this storm. It's relatively new, and it is not that far out. It just started showing the system. This past model run really kind of emphasized it more than ever before from any other model runs. And then notice that we do see some snow, some rain. At this point, not organized, right? It does produce a bit of snow. It's pretty measly. But then we have that third system potentially coming through, which has the potential to be snowy if a bit more cold air were to mix in, and if this were to be stronger. But again, this is a bit far out, and to be honest, the models kind of are all over the place. Each model showing its different thing. If we were to take a look at the total snowfall from the European model, and just to show you what it looks like. So let's take a glance at this and see how much snow the European shows. And obviously where it's cold enough, that will transition over to snow. And notice that the mountains really end up picking up quite a bit already within a few days from now. Some locations reaching at 3-foot mark. So definitely quite impressive. Southeastern Canada also does get in on some of this. But really, the central southern Canada area remains pretty snow-free, and that's definitely an indication of that warmer air and lack of precipitation. Notice a bit of snow, obviously, this weekend. So for my Canadian or for my Michigan viewers, you could also be seeing some snow. This model is showing that. So again, the snow situation with this system is still a bit interesting and has to be resolved. But more into Canada, a bit more confidence for that. Again, the mountain snow continues to grow. We have that second week system that kind of brings spotty, patchy snow across Wisconsin, Michigan, the UP. And then we potentially have that third and final storm, which again is still very far out. But the mountains definitely pick up on a bucket load of snow. Southeastern Canada does quite good with the snow. Southern Canada, not so much. Definitely could be higher amounts. And then anywhere else in the United States other than the Northwest and portions of Sierra Nevadas are really pretty dry and miserable amounts of snow. And definitely not something to be impressed by in late November. If we were to take a look at the total snowfall from the European, this is what we have again right there. I wanted to show you the total accumulated precipitation. That's what I wanted to show you. And no, not the precipitation rate. So let's look at this. So again, rain will be more abundant because a lot of this will be warm, right? A lot of this air will be warm, so the snow will stay limited, but the rain will be relatively plentiful, maybe a bit less across the plains, almost nothing, it seems, that from the European. Again, a lot across the west, northwest, and then the east, maybe a bit drier, but nothing completely unusual for November, though definitely this is a bit concerning as the dryness continues across the mountains in the southwest where they most definitely need that rain. Let's take a look at the GFS model, a pretty good model, not the parallel. This is the older one that's going to get replaced by the parallel as an operational model sometime in 2021. So if you saw that, okay, let's run this through. Notice we have a bit of lake effect with that cool air across the northeast right now. This is Wednesday. We do see a bit of rain moving into the northwest Thursday, Friday. And again, we do see that weekend storm start developing on a Saturday, late Friday, early Saturday time frame. And that pushes way into, Saturday night, Sunday morning. A bit of snow mixing in. You can see the GFS doesn't really support that snow scenario either. But in Canada, it's a different story a bit. You could see a bit more snow out of that. Not a strong system overall, mostly rain, and no real strong winds or characteristics a strong system would carry with itself. However, notice again, we see more increased precipitation across the west. Around this time frame is where the European includes that system. And again, you can see the GFS, for example, shows absolutely no signs of that system occurring. It does have a bit of precipitation to the south and north, a clipper that speeds through central southern Canada. But again, warm. I mean, these are very, very warm temperatures for much of November, or for the central United States, really the eastern and the western. The whole United States will most likely be warm, other than portions of the Northwest. And as we see this continue, obviously the cold air does try making its a bit of a way into the Northeast. Right there, you can see still generally warmer. The GFS really keeps this dry with this model run. It does show a bit of maybe precipitation working in there, but mainly in the form of rain. So obviously don't get all saddened by this yet. You know, this oftentimes when there's a warmer November, there's been years prior where this has happened. A warmer November and a drier November led to a pretty cold and snowy December. And not always, but that has sometimes have happened. And I would say not even sometimes. It's about a 50-50. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. During a La Nina, it's a bit more likely to happen. But again, with the La Nina being a strong one this year, that could pose its separate challenges in forecasting. Let's take a look at the GFS parallel, which is at this point a couple hours old, a couple model runs old, as it only updates once a day, and it updates in the very, very early morning hours of the day. And right now we're at the 6:40 standard time. Notice cool air across the Northeast right now, right? The lake effect there, that gets pushed out as the high pressure with warm air brings winds from the south and southeast. Very strong winds possible tomorrow and into Thursday across much of the central United States: Illinois, Missouri, Iowa, Michigan, Wisconsin. And that definitely is something I should have mentioned earlier, but again, it's not associated with any large storm. It's just with the colliding air masses, the baroclinic zone. Two high pressures, kind of like magnets colliding with each other, contrasting against each other. Notice we see that the weekend storm develop from the GFS parallel, a bit of rain, not much snow up until even Canada limits a snowfall. Develops into a bit more of a storm-like feature. You can see it kind of gets that wrapped up cold front. But otherwise than that, it's just more of like a large slime slug of moisture that just moves into the northeast and southeastern Canada. And this is now where, again, the European showed that second system, GFS parallel. Again, not showing much, similar to what the GFS did. Does show a bit of cooler air right there. You could see a bit more than what the GFS shows, but definitely has a clipper a bit further to the south, and definitely doesn't have as many storms, at least in the medium range and long range maybe, but again, that's really way too far out to even look at. In terms of total snowfall, if I were to show you, again, Northwest seeing abundant amounts of snow. The rest of the United States, excluding southeastern Canada, pretty much nothing. Northwest, southwestern Canada, loads of snow, and maybe portions of the Northeast, maybe Michigan, and portions of southeastern Canada also seeing some good amounts of snow from this pattern. Though again, there definitely could be higher amounts if the system, or if the pattern was maximized. Canadian model, similar event. You can see it's a bit more snowy. It shows a bit more snow across Quebec and into Ontario, Michigan, Wisconsin, Iowa. But again, it is not really anything too heavy. Northwest, southwestern Canada seeing a lot of snow, and anywhere else pretty high and dry. Not even precip wise, it looks terribly wet. A bit again with that first system. Anywhere else, kind of measly. So several small storm chances, or snow, just storm chances. Really, not even snowstorm chances. So we'll just have to wait and see how this all unfolds. There is still a lot of time to be. A lot of time for this pattern to get active. And again, I was actually looking at my videos from yesterday, and this video was, I think, made in 2017. I remember it was Thanksgiving Day I made that video, so it was around the 24th, 25th. I don't know exactly when Thanksgiving landed on that day, but I made a video where I talked about how a warm November may indicate a cold and snowier December and quite a bit of snow, right? And then later I looked at my videos to see what happened, right? And then December was very cold, very snowy, and remember, that was like one of my predictions that I absolutely nailed. So I do get something right sometimes. But whether or not that will happen this year, possible, we'll just have to wait and see. I want to quickly show you that the teleconnections for like the NAO, North Atlantic Oscillation, are showing some signs of going negative. You could see right around that December, late November time frame. And again, the models I just showed you don't even go into early December, or if they do, it's completely inaccurate. And if you recall, October we had that similar and a negative NAO, and that was associated with much colder temperatures. We could see that in December, and then the AO, the Atlantic or the Arctic oscillation, kind of a similar thing, also showing a trend towards negative, but not before skyrocketing towards positive in the next few days, which will indicate that warmth. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you all guys in the next episode. See ya. Bye.